So I know it's been a while, right? Yeah, I had to I was, I went through a lot. Well, not a lot as in many things, but a lot. But the thing is, sometimes you can try and move on from certain things, but those things are much, much bigger than you think they are. And so for me, I think every time I tried to record an episode, this would be the topic here, right? And I would just end up going here. But that's because the things that are over here were things that I hadn't fully worked through. And so my brain was like, nah, we need to address this. And I was like, yeah, I'm addressing this on my own personally. Like I'm sitting with myself, I'm working on this, and I'm talking to my therapist about this and things like that. It's like, oh no, like just we want to deal with that. And so I was like, you know what, I think I low-key need to be faithful to myself as well. And so after having thought through a lot of my thoughts and everything, I've come down and say, you know what, let me actually talk about some of these things. But not in some of the detail, but anyway, let me not get into the weeds of that. Basically, what I wanted to talk about is, I think the last episode I did, I mentioned, First Corinthians and how it talks about 13 and how it talks about love and what love is. And I think one of the things I've been struggling with has been the thought of what is love and what does love look like to me. And because I think you can be in a place where you give so much of yourself because you quote unquote love someone, because you quote unquote are in love. And also you can be in a situation where you're incredibly and massively and just so in love with someone, and you think that person is in love with you, and then they tell you that they don't love you anymore, and it's just like, whoa, that's a lot. But it's this question of what does love look like? And so I think one of the first things I wanted to talk about is patience, right? Because again, love is patient. Love is so patient. And I think it's been making me think of, one, am I patient with myself? What? Right? And then, yeah, what does being patient in love look like for me, towards me? Am I patient with myself? Do I love myself enough to be patient with myself? Do I love myself enough to give myself time to grow, to give myself time to grow into things? Also, do I love myself enough to give myself the grace when I don't learn as quickly? So if I'm with someone and this person is a certain way, and I'm trying to learn how to love them, I'm trying to learn how to love them the best way I can, am I patient enough with myself when I don't learn how to love them the way they want to be loved as quickly as possible? Or do I just beat myself up about it? Do I sit there and I'm like, you know what? I'm a horrible person. I never learned how to love you properly. I never learned how to do this. Oh my gosh, I should have done better. I should have, am I quick to beat myself up about it? Am I quick to beat myself up about the things I didn't learn that well? Or am I going to be patient with myself? Am I going to say, you know what? You have never been in that situation. You've never been in that position. You've never at any point learned what that looks like. And so it's okay to fail. It's okay to not get it right the first time. It's okay to give yourself time to learn how to do it properly, right? And I think the other conversation about that is, am I patient enough with the other person? And I think this is difficult for a lot of people, because I think a lot of times, I think social media has tricked people into thinking everything should just happen at once. So many people spend so much time on social media, and it's like, oh, you see these 2 or 3, 5 stories of people who meet, and they just automatically click and things just work out, and and you assume, oh, that's what every relationship is like. And like, no. Are there people where that can happen and it's beautiful? Yes. But the majority of people need to actually work through things. You actually need patience. It's why you hear people who have been married for 60 years who will be like, oh no, I'm still learning. Like, what do you mean? You've been married for 60 years and they shocked you? They did something that shocked you? It's like, yeah. But I think social media teaches us that, oh, you can just get everything and the best version of someone at once. It's like, no. They need to grow. You yourself need to grow. And over time, you both need to grow. You both need to, there are things that they have learned, there are things that you have learned, and over time you need to learn together. Togetherness. But yeah, I think a lot of times we don't have the patience for that. We don't have, there's this thing where people kind of say things like, no, don't fall in love with potential. True. Don't fall in love with potential. Yeah. But I think there's room for someone who is building towards something. And I think there's a difference between someone who has potential to be something, but they're just chilling and doing nothing, and someone who has potential to be something, and you can see, oh, they're actually putting in the work. And I think a lot of times we mistake the two. And so we can see someone who's actually building towards something, who's actually trying to become something, who's actually learning how to do something. And we'll use oh no, don't fall in love with potential. And it's like, no, but they're learning in the same way that you're learning. And I think one of the reasons why people say something like, oh no, learn how to love yourself before you can love other people, because you can't love other people before loving yourself, is because if you learn how to give yourself the grace, the patience, it's very easy to translate that to someone else, because you're going to look at them and say, oh, but I haven't learned things. I'm not fully capable of doing this, and this. And I think that's kind of how I try to approach relationships. It's like, oh yeah, we might be different, but I don't have their experiences and they don't have mine. So in the same way that if I do something and I'm not doing it as well as I would want to do it, if I look at myself and say, hey, you know what, this is my first time, man. Like, I've never been with a person who's like this. I've never been around someone who's like this. If I give myself that grace and that patience, I can then also give that to the other person. And I think also the other thing is just patience with the process of the relationship. I think, again, just back to the whole, I think a lot of people just want things to just boom, 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 boom. Oh, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. And it's like, man, be patient. You want this type of relationship. You want this because you've seen it here, and you've seen this. Oh, you've seen this. It's like, yeah, sometimes in the same way that We all get to places over time. Some of these things will happen, but you can't force them to happen right now. And the question is, do you have the patience? And I think I'll go back to something that a lot of us know, the 80-20 rule, whereas a lot of people will meet someone who has 80% of the things that they want, right? But you find yourself focusing on the 20% that you don't have, that person doesn't have. And so you can leave someone who is 80% of the things that you want, you can leave that person because you're so obsessed with this 20%. You're so obsessed with the few things that they don't have or they don't have yet. Again, patience, because this 20% can come as you guys grow together, as then they begin to learn you more. It's like, oh, right, they like this. Oh, okay. And oh, I should probably talk to them like this. Oh, this is how I approach them. So now that 20% becomes even smaller. But if you're so focused on this 20%, that is, if that 20% isn't something extremely critical, because it could be something that is very critical sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's, are you patient enough with yourself to the point where you're also patient with the other person, because you understand in the same way that I am learning, they're learning. So are you patient with yourself? Are you patient with your own growth? Not just in relationships, but like in life in general. Do you love yourself enough that you're patient with yourself? Are you punishing yourself for things you haven't achieved yet? Oh, I don't have a car like this yet. I don't have this yet. I don't have this yet. I'm such a loser. I'm such a failure. Do yourself. Do yourself. Oh, do better. But yeah, like, are you patient with yourself? Do you love yourself enough to be patient with yourself? Do you love people enough to be patient with them? Your parents, your siblings, your friends. Do you love yourself? And do you love others enough to have patience? Give me your feedback, ChimTC, CHIMTC on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube and TikTok. And I hope that we can be a people who are patient, like genuinely, but from a place of love, not from a place of stupidity. Because I think sometimes we're patient and we give people chances when it's like, you probably shouldn't be doing. That's not someone you give a chance to. You're being dumb now. You're being stupid. But are we patient enough? And I think, can we also learn what being patient with ourselves looks like? Can we actually learn what are the things that I'm difficult about with myself? What are the things I'm difficult about with my partner? What are the things I'm difficult about with my siblings, with my friends? Am I patient? And if I'm impatient, why am I impatient? So yeah, 1 Corinthians 13:4, love is patient. If we're going to walk in love, let us learn to be patient. Protect your life, man. Protect your life. I'm out.